So thank you for joining me today. I have my dad here with me, David. He came down from Sarnia to do this interview, so thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Okay, so we'll just be talking a little bit about your life and all that. So when and where were you born?
I was born in London, Ontario in 1958. Grew up there for about 30 years or so, and eventually moved to Sarnia.
Perfect. When did your parents move to Canada?
My mother was born in Argentina, in a Welsh colony there. Trelew, I think was the name of the town. It's kind of Patagonia, you might know, in the southern tip of Argentina.
Yes.
And they then moved to Canada, though, when she was 17, so about 1929.
Okay.
And my father was born in England, but his family, he had 3 sisters and 2 other brothers. The family couldn't afford to keep them all together, so they had sent his older brothers to London, or north of London, to a farm when they were about 13, 14 years old. And my father followed a couple of years later when he was about 10 or 12. And luckily they got with a nice family in that, and he grew up on a farm there. And I believe that's around there is where my mother and her family kind of settled when they came to Canada. And so they met in that area.
Oh, that's very interesting. So, did you ever go back to any of these countries to visit family?
My mother and I went to Wales once when I was about 12. So I met a few relatives that were still over there. I would love to go to Argentina, but I've not made that trip yet. And met a few cousins in England as well. And some of them came over to Canada and visited as well.
Okay. So, where did you go to school when you were living here? Or in London, I guess.
In London, I went to South Collegiate High School, and then I attended Fanshawe College for a couple of years.
Okay. And what do you do now for work?
I work at KML Windows, which is an Anderson affiliate in Strathroy. We build custom windows for people.
Yeah, some famous people I've heard.
Some famous people, yes.
Okay, so then English is your first language, yes?
Yes.
Okay. Your mom and dad, are they bilingual?
No, my mom can speak a little bit of Welsh and a little bit of Spanish, but I think she probably kind of lost that a little more when they came to Canada.
Mm-hmm. Yes. So did you learn any Welsh or another language when you were younger?
No, I picked up a couple of Welsh words, but that's about it. I can tell you good night, no sta in Welsh, but that's about it.
Would you have liked to learn more?
Yeah, they used to go, my mom and aunts used to go to, it's called a Gaman It's like a Welsh festival that was always in Niagara Falls every year, it seemed, and they would sing Welsh hymns and songs. They're big on singing Welsh. And so my cousins and I would go to that, and we'd have to go in the morning, and then they'd let us run around in the afternoon in Niagara Falls and have fun.
Is anyone else in your family bilingual?
No, not really.
No. Okay. And then just a couple questions about some values. So how important is it to you to have a good family life?
It's very important. I found my family very late in my life. I have 3 sisters and a brother who are a lot older than me. So my mom and dad had me late, and I kind of started my journey of that late as well, but it's been a great journey.
Yes. How important is it to feel respected by others?
That's very important. It's I feel I have that respect at work, and I appreciate that, and I think everyone should respect everyone. It's a good value to have, good way to live your life.
What about being educated?
That's very important. All our kids have gone to school, and we make sure that's first and foremost. They all play sports, but unless you've got your schoolwork done, that comes first.
Yeah, I'm sure Easton's not very happy about that usually.
No. Well, he's got a little more homework this year, but that's okay.
Yeah. What about helping people in need?
Yes, we try to do that. It's someone could always use a helping hand somewhere.
Yeah, Mom was always sending us with lots of food on when it was time to bring in canned goods during the season. So
yes.
Yeah.
We had two kids. I don't know if Mom told you the other day. We had two kids at our door, came and knocked on the door and sang a Christmas carol for us. And then they just said, if you'd like to make a donation, we're just trying to buy some Christmas presents.
Aww.
So
That's really sweet.
Mom gave them a little donation.
That's really sweet. How important is making money?
Well, it definitely helps, but it's not the most important thing.
Figured you were going to say that. What about having a strong religious faith?
I don't think you have to have a strong religious faith. Some people, that's fine if some people do. I'm not really a religious person.
Yeah.
No.
It's okay, I knew that. And handing down cultural traditions?
It is important, but I don't know, we don't really have any cultural traditions. I can remember playing it's like a ball and jacks game, but it's just with little stones that my mom brought back from, they used to play in Argentina, because they probably didn't have proper little toys, and they invented a little game. And,
yeah.
It was called pajamas.
Yeah. I feel like maybe they might have lost some of the traditions that they had along the way of moving here.
I think so. I think I was reading, I think the Gamanva thing that is still, the Welsh festivals still go on.
Maybe we'll go
today. Yeah, they still hold them, and they still hold them like in North America and that too. Like it's not just in Wales. So. And I think there still is a large colony in Argentina that's all Welsh.
Well, that would be interesting to go back and
it would
visit
be,
that.
Yeah, I'd like to. That'd be a nice trip to take.
Yeah. What are some of your greatest accomplishments?
I think just having a family. I didn't think I was probably going to have a family for quite a few years, and I have an awesome family and beautiful wife and 3 wonderful kids who they're just amazing.
Thanks.
I think that's my best accomplishment.
You're too nice to me. What were some holidays that your family celebrated?
Just the basic traditional ones: Christmas, Easter, the Thanksgiving ones. I don't think, maybe I was too small, but I've heard from my sisters and brothers that my dad would be out running around the house with sleigh bells or something, jangling at night, so he makes sure you're in bed because Santa was on his way.
Aww.
So.
That's sweet. Did you guys go to any religious ceremonies?
I can remember attending church with my mom on some Sundays, and maybe some Christmas Eve events as well, but not too much really.
Did you get to go to any weddings when you were younger that were in your family? And
a few cousins' weddings we went to. Just we haven't had a family reunion for quite a while.
Yeah.
We could stand to have another one, but
were there traditional sorts of, dress, clothing at the weddings, or was it just?
No, I would say it was just all kind of just Canadian, I guess. Just yeah.
Yeah. What kind of food and drinks were common in your household when you were young?
Just the basic sort of things. My mom cooked quite a bit. She was a stay-at-home mom. So, yeah, just the basic.
Did she ever make anything that was like that she said had cultural ties, or?
I think just, ones that you probably guys don't never liked was, a goulash sort of thing, and I'm not sure what that was all. How much, if that was really Welsh or an Argentine thing. Not really, no, just more of the traditional foods.
Okay. Was there ever any folklore that was told?
I don't know. I don't really recall any folklore that we would have any.
No scary Argentine stories?
No, nothing really. I think there was a couple stories from the farm when my dad was out there that they would, because he used to work with I think with a milkman that would go along and deliver, and he occasionally had dogs chasing them, and they'd have to get rid of the dogs chasing them, and just doing some kind of funny tricks with them to divert them.
Okay. Do you ever feel stereotyped against based on your culture?
No, I don't think so. I think it's not any, it's never really come up in anything, and I don't feel it's been a stigma or anything that's held me back or
Do you feel that people have a preconceived notion of you because of where your family is from?
No, because people are quite surprised always when I say that, if they ask where my mother was born and I say Argentina, and they're kind of stunned by that. So
yes.
But I mean, everybody's from all over the place, so it shouldn't be real surprising, I guess.
No, and even I get that too. Like, if I tell my friends and stuff that I'll be like, oh, my grandma was born in Argentina, and they're like, well, maybe this is more like a stereotype, but being like, oh, my grandma's was born in Argentina and then immigrated to Canada, and they're like, you're very white.
You could qualify. You could play for the Argentine team.
As silly as that sounds, but they just like. But then I say, oh well, she was from a Welsh colony in Argentina, and then it's like, oh, okay.
Then it gets stranger actually,
yes.
Because people go, why is there a Welsh colony in Argentina? Because they think it's just Spanish and
oh well, that's what I mean. Like you say Argentina, and they're like Latin country. You don't look Latin at all.
It's Portuguese, or it's like Brazil, and it's. But check the phone book, and down around Chubut I think is like the province that is there, and it's all Hughes and Jones, and there's lots of just Welsh names.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, but I would say if anything, like that is something that people just kind of think. I don't know if that would be more like a preconceived notion of like why you know, you say that, like, oh, this is where she's from, and then they're like,
I don't
really?
think
Because you don't. It doesn't look like that.
I don't think it's a bad thing. It's
yeah,
just
no, it's like I'm just like, oh, it's funny because.
Yeah, they're very surprised. And, and curious about it. Why? How and why did they move from there to?
And I think Canada, I think a lot of people also don't know that there are Welsh colonies there, so they just are not expecting that.
No, it's I don't know. That's when there's all kinds of different cultures now in Canada, so it's kind of that's just long ago it started, but
yeah, I guess the next question might fit this better. What are some misconceptions about your culture that you would like to set straight? But I think it's just more like I think that is more of a misconception of like, you know, saying that she's from Argentina and then that she is white.
Yeah. And how
So I feel like that's maybe where that might fall. But I don't know about you, but that's like, at least from what that's
what you've gotten.
That's what I gotten the most.
Yeah, people are kind of just, they're always taken aback by it. It's not a bad thing. It's just
no, it's not.
It's just you don't hear that every day. You just assume she was born somewhere in Canada, probably.
Yeah, or a European country.
Yeah, or European
like
country.
Wales. You'd be like, oh, yeah.
Yeah, it would make more sense probably if it was Wales. Why Argentina? How did that happen?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I do.
I don't think I ever really got the full story of why they did move there. They were from Wales, but.
Yeah, I was just gonna say,
She was. I mean, I'm not sure of all her family, how many were born there.
Mm-hmm.
I think maybe, I think all of their family was born there, and she had 2 other sisters and 3 other brothers. So I think their family just moved there. I guess it was a new life to start there, rather than could be. I mean, because obviously my father, their family couldn't afford to keep everyone, and maybe it was better to take the whole family and start there, and obviously there was like already a sort of a Welsh colony there, I guess.
So
that's why they went there.
Yeah. No, it's very
interesting story.
It's very interesting. Nobody. I mean, if she wasn't from there, I probably wouldn't know that there's Welsh colonies in Argentina. So most people seem to not know that, which makes sense. But it's just like, I do have a couple other questions that I've thought of. Did your dad ever reconnect with his family after he came here, or?
No, just his brothers that were here. They both lived in London and grew up in London and worked in London, and so we'd see them, but he never went back, and I don't think there was anybody when we went over there when I was younger that we met from like his immediate family or anything.
Mm-hmm.
More from my mom's side, people there. So yeah.
And then my last question: because it seems that obviously life would be very different living in Argentina versus living here, or living even in England versus living here. And like we kind of talked about, I think maybe they lost some of the traditions along the way, especially your dad. He moved here, but he didn't move here with his family. So kind of, you come here and now this is what you have, right? So do you wish they came with more culturally traditional things, and that you were a little bit more involved in that? And I know with our me, Sid, Easton, like, we don't
have a big immediate family.
No, we don't have a big immediate family.
No. I'm sure there's some traditions that I wish we probably had, and I don't know really how much different some of theirs would be, but I'm sure there's some that would, some stuff that would be interesting. We can still look into something like that. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I would love, I love to travel,
Yes.
So I would love to go to Argentina, Wales, England, any of those.
Do them all.
Yeah.
Well, that would be nice.
Yeah.
Take the cruise around the tip of southern Argentina. That's one. That would be awesome. I'd love to do
That would be cool. That would be cool. Okay. Well, I think that's it for my questions. Thank you for coming to meet with me and for sharing about this. I feel like I've gotten to learn a little bit more about, my background as well. So it's nice to just sit down and chat about it.
All right.
Yeah.
Good. Thank you.
Perfect. Oh my gosh.